So, Don Brothers episode 24, Sun Trenchcoat for Two. Now, I don't think there's going to be a lot to say about this episode. Not saying it was a bad episode, this was a fun and lighthearted episode, but there wasn't much plot in the way of this episode. This episode was, I don't want to call it a filler because Momotaro did have some development in this episode, but he had a nice moment at the end of the episode, but this moment was kind of away from all the action, away from all the big plot stuff we've been getting, and kind of just chilling out and letting the characters do their own thing, which was kind of a nice thing, because we got a relaxing episode in this episode. There was no Juto, no brain people running around. This was just a heavy Momotaro-focused episode with the other Don brothers helping out in this situation. So there was a lot to love about this episode. Now, the title. I want to talk about the title because the title in Japanese is called Musuko Ninin Abori, which I probably butchered, but the whole Ninin Abori is sort of a wordplay on the whole trench coat thing, what people do where two people get in the trench coat that look taller. Think Vincent Adultman if you've seen BoJack Horseman. But I think the Nin in there is also based on what the monster of the week was this week, which was Kakorinjas, so Ninjas. Maybe I'm just spitballing, I don't know my Japanese that well. I'm just throwing speculation out there. But let's talk about the episode, because the episode was a lot of fun. Now, the concept of this episode is pretty straightforward, and you've probably seen this in Western television and probably Japanese television as well, depending on where you are in the world. But the whole concept of this episode is Momotaro meets this older woman, and she thinks that Momotaro is her son. And because Momotaro can't lie, he's got to think of an idea to sort of kind of humor this lady to make her think that he's her son, because we don't really know what happened to the son except they ran away to pursue their own goals. So there wasn't the whole concept that the son died and something bad happened to him and she was old and was that you, my son? I haven't seen you in forever. It was just the son ran away from home and Momotaro looks like him, so Momotaro's going to pretend to be him. And how they come around with Momotaro or Taro sort of pretending to lie without lying by opening his mouth is a really funny and silly concept where Saru Brother gives him a Bluetooth headset with a speaker and he speaks for Momotaro. So you have Momotaro sort of lip miming Saru Brother's words, which was kind of funny. I did enjoy that. And sometimes he'd mess up and he'd sort of blow his cover. But I really did love the interactions of Momotaro hanging out with this lady and pretending to be her son. That was kind of some heartwarming moments because it showed that Momotaro can be this really nice dude to help people out, which is something that he does. And he was sort of not able to overcome his fear of lying because he does sort of faint and die in this episode when Haruka just randomly shows up and says, "Hey, I'm his boyfriend, and aren't we in love?" And Momotaro's like, "Yeah, I love you," and then just dies. And I love the mother's reaction by finding out that he's got no pulse, and she's like, "You killed my son." But suddenly, a few seconds later, they hear the cry of the monster of the week, and he gets back up. But I did like the start of the episode where Momotaro is like really annoyed that this lady's following him around at work and stuff like that. He's like, what am I going to do about this? And Haruka's sort of like, hey, we should do something about Jiro and Don Murasame. And Momotaro's like, nah, fuck that shit. I got bigger problems right now. We got this lady who keeps following me around. We can worry about that next week or later down the line, which got a laugh out of me. But there was something also very interesting in this episode as well, and it was kind of played off as a gag, but it's also adding to the mystery of who the hell is Variant Kaito, because the son of the lady is a famous piano player, and Momotaro's like, I can't play the piano, but Kaito's like, I know how to do it, and somehow at the back of the shop, there's this giant room with this grand piano in there, and Kaito was able to play it really well, which has never been brought up at this point. We still don't know anything about Variant Kaito apart from he wants to be a hero. which we're probably not going to find anything about him for a while because we're 24 episodes into the series, and the dude is still a mystery, which is something I love about Donbrothers, and you probably hear me say it like every other episode. Oh, we're this many episodes into the show and we know nothing about this or that, which is I'm kind of enjoying. I am kind of enjoying that. And how Don Murasame has disappeared for the last couple of episodes is an interesting touch as well. Now, the Monster of the Week is based on Kakorinja, and I gotta love the Monster of the Week's design because it's based on Ninja Man or Ninja if you're a fan of Power Rangers, and when they transform into the big Monster of the Week, their giant form looks like Ninja's transformed state, which was called Samurai Man in Kakorinja. And I gotta say, the fight between Jiro's Robotaro form and the Monster of the Week is amazing. I love the fight choreography with that Zord because you see it kicking, you sort of see it doing some crazy stuff. It even does his own jutsu where he launches the wolf out and does a surprise attack. No, tiger. Oh shit, I messed up again. And the tiger does a really cool jutsu move. Well, Jiro calls it a jutsu move, but it's basically the tiger form launching out of the chest piece and getting a sneak attack on the Monster of the Week. But the Monster of the Week was the son of the mother, Kojiro, I believe his name was, and he does return home, which was pretty nice of him at the end of the episode where he figures out what he wants to do and he wants to play piano for his mother. But there was a scene where he was running around sort of cutting people down and they just turn into clothes, and there's a scene where he confronts his mother, and in the monster form, in the monster form, he confronts his mother and he just stares at her but doesn't attack her like he's been doing to everyone else. He just spares her. But the end of the episode is Momotaro thanks her for everything he's done, but she thanks him as well, saying, "This was a lot of fun, I enjoyed your company." And Momotaro says, "Oh, I've got one more request." And then after that, it cuts back to Momotaro going to the back of the cafe and starts playing piano, and he says, "I'm sorry I never got to play piano for you. I'm going to try harder so I can do it for you." I think he said something like that. So he plays the melody, which was really nice, and I was hoping what they would do at the end of the episode when Momotaro was playing the piano, he would sort of play the piano cover of the Donbrothers ending theme, the but they didn't sort of lead into that as well until the end of the episode. But we actually get to see Momotaro's request for the lady, where he says, "Can I give you a back rub?" And we see him giving her the back rub as the piano music plays. So it's a really nice happy ending for the characters in this show. No Monster of the Week was killed, and they were alive at the end of the episode. They returned home to their family, and everyone got a nice happy ending at the end of the episode. But next week should be interesting as well, because it's going to be a Pink Ranger focused episode. I like Kiji Brother. Kiji Brother's cool. But episode 24 of Donbrothers was really great. I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, it was a chill episode from all the crazy stuff we've been having in the past couple of weeks. So it looks like Thing might kick back up into the crazy again. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to be silly antics and stuff like that. But hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for this crazy ride. But with that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.
Thank you.